Uh, I now request the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to kindly do us the honor of hoisting the national flag.
जन मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा वृंद हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Good morning, everyone. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Registrar ma'am, esteemed professors, the dedicated non-teaching staff of Nalsar, and my fellow students. A very warm welcome to all of you. I, Saksham Rai, am delighted to welcome you all to the 76th Republic Day celebrations of our nation. This day holds a special place in the heart of every Indian as we commemorate the historic moment when the Indian Constitution came into force. It marked the birth of the Republic of India, transforming our country into the democratic republic we know it today as. Republic Day is not just a celebration of our constitutional framework, but also a tribute to countless individuals whose sacrifices and vision paved the way for the values we hold dear today. Let us take this moment to honor the spirit of our Constitution. And to do the same, it is my privilege to invite our esteemed Vice Chancellor to address the gathering and share his words of wisdom on this special occasion.
Professor Vasanti, Registrar, Nalsar Law University, my colleagues, faculty, staff, my dear friends. Greetings to all of you on the occasion of 76th Republic Day. Nani Palkiwala once said, Constitution constitutes the nation. I think it's true. Indian Constitution binds all of us, particularly for law students. Indian Constitution, not just supreme law, but is also integral part of our everyday education and implementation, and also strengthening the implementation of the Indian Constitution. It is a transformative document. Of course, we started using transformative constitution only in 2018 onwards, but it is literally a transformative document. Not only binds us, but also it is something very unique when compared to the other countries. Indian Constitution was born when Britishers were departing. And the story of the Indian Constitution, a writing of the Constitution, making of the Constitution, begins not just with the formation of the Constituent Assembly in 1946, but a century earlier. The complex process of actual writing through efforts of 300 extraordinary men and women. Of course, 15 women are part of this. They are profound thinkers, practical politicians, and experienced administrators. All of them sat almost 3 years, from December 1946 to November 1949. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has literally completely anchored in the writing and several of the debates and discussions, along with Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, Rajendra Prasad, along with several legal luminaries and down-to-earth representatives of the legislative assemblies, debate, discussed, and finally came with a consensus. That's the extraordinary work of 3 years of the Constitution making. And always I emphasize that public consultation was an essential feature of the Indian constitution making, and bringing all kinds of people, diverse ideas, ideologies, thinking, all of them sat together. That makes Indian constitution is a great constitution. The four pillars of the constitution are preamble, democracy, rule of law, and more than all the three above, important, the fourth pillar is the independent, impartial, and accessible judiciary. The 85 words in the preamble really embodies the fundamental values, philosophy, and objectives of the Constitution. Pandit Thakur Das Bhargava, member of the Constituent Assembly, all of you know, he said, it's the soul of the Constitution. It reflects the constitutional trinity, the values of liberty, equality, and fraternity. In the preamble, what we see, justice has been given an important place. In fact, the first place, if you look at that. They are the fundamental building blocks and articulates philosophy of the Indian Constitution. Ambedkar visualized along with the liberty, equality, fraternity as very important. And this was debated and adopted in the last meeting of the Constituent Assembly on 17th October 1949. Second important pillar is democracy. We know without democracy, India should not have or could not have developed as a great nation which is aspiring to be one of an important power all over the world, whether it's a global south or a global north. India is really as emerging as an important nation. So democracy is an important, in fact, constitution is primarily a political instrument ensuring power to the people. Adult franchise, even before any other constitution in the world, we have said everyone, every citizen has a right to vote, and that's the major thing we have seen. It categorically states that the fundamental rights are available to its citizens along with their duties to the states, and also mentions about sharing of the power. Rule of law, third pillar. It's primarily the supremacy of law. No one is above the law. It is the Indian Constitution. And which is the rule of law is one of the political ideals that the Constitution wanted to achieve. Fairness, reason, equality, liberty, and life. Rule of law excludes arbitrariness. The principle of certainty and equality, that all people are equal, runs through the Constitution. And lastly, judicial review. I think Indian Supreme Court has become a supreme, not just because of it is in the capital city of India, in the Delhi, but it is the power of judicial review. Judicial review is an integral part of rule of law and constitutional system. The power to interpret the law and exercise this power, we have seen in Articles 32 in conjunction with Article 142 and Article 226 are part of the inviolable basic structure of the Constitution. As law student, we must remember two important dates in the Constitution making. Of course, you know that. 24th April 1973, the historic Keshavananda Bharati case. We have just celebrated last year 50 years. In fact, Keshavananda Bharati saved the Indian Constitution. 6 months, entire Supreme Court was just literally working on where is this basic structure? Is it there in Indian Constitution? Or how do we enunciate? That was the discussion and the debate between which is supreme. Parliament is supreme or Indian Supreme Court is supreme. So 24th April 1973 and 28th April 1976. 28th April 1976 is the infamous habeas corpus case, we know, Edim Jabalpur case. Commonality between these two is only one Justice H.R. Khanna. So that's the great, we could see in that the 24 April 1973 landmark Keshavananda Bharati case. Second is 28th April 1976 infamous habeas corpus case. Both have the commonality, one eminent judge. I think very few deserves to be called as jurist. I think it's only H.R. Khanna who can be called as a jurist. So he became, we know that, all of you know that H.R. Khanna opinion became majority opinion in Keshavananda Bharati, and as I said, it saved the Indian Constitution. Significant portion of Khanna's judgment was based on foreign comparative law. He relied on an article published by a German scholar, Dieter Konrad, and who seems to have visited India and delivered in Banaras Hindu University and Madras University just during this time, before this time. And 1975 emergency we know, and that was during the peak of the emergency on 28th April 1976. That's were the infamous dark days of emergency. I think some of you have not been born, and as a students we have seen during that time, and that was the suspension of all rights, particularly not just only the right to move High Court under Article 226, issue of habeas corpus, but also Article 21, right to life. And this habeas corpus case, ADM Jabalpur also said that it cannot be questioned by the courts. Someone said there are 5 burials of ADM Jabalpur case now. So it is declared as an aberration of the constitutional jurisprudence in India. And we know lastly that 9-judge bench in K.A. Puttaswamy case on 24th August 2017 expressly and finally overruled the ADM Jabalpur case. Justice Khanna's progressive and creative constitutional interpretation in Keshavananda Bharati case continued to reflect dissenting opinion in the ADM Jabalpur case. We know later is a history, post-Menaka interpretation, which symbolized with different liberal interpretation of the Constitution, fair, justice, and several other, and several unenumerated rights were propounded and interpreted by the Indian Supreme Court and several other. And 2018, we have seen the transformative journey of the Indian Constitution. Let me briefly conclude with what we have achieved last 1 year and what we are thinking as a Nalsar, now celebrating 26 years of Nalsar journey. And we have now slowly moving towards developing several of these infrastructures. Intellectual and academic infrastructure is very important, and next comes the physical infrastructure. I know some of these new faculty will be joining very soon, and we will also have Professor Anup Surendranath. He has already submitted a resignation in the NLU Delhi. He'll be joining in March, even I think before 31st March. Hopefully a new avatar of Project 39A will come here, and then let us see that will really help in the future journey of the Nalsar Law University. You have also seen Professor Sitaram from Ajim Premji University has joined. Professor TVS and Prasad, former Chief Secretary Haryana, has also joined as a distinguished professor of economics and public policy. I'm delighted to announce that Dr. Prasad was conferred yesterday by President of India award for best electoral practices in conducting peaceful elections in Haryana. And an arbitration mediation center, it is becoming functional. Justice Rohinton Nariman will be coming here for the inaugural lecture on February 14th. We have seen the Center for Trade Law has been doing a tremendous amount of work. We have seen several of these activities. And we have also signing today on the arbitration, taking another milestone and moving forward today in the mediation tournament. NMT tournament in the valedictory session, we are signing an MOU with Web Nyaya to start out online arbitration, mediation, education, awareness, and actual practice. We have also prepared a social justice handbook for the Ministry of Social Justice, Government of India, and we are helping the Ministry of Social Justice, Government of India in the effective implementation of the Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. And these are all some of the things: academic infrastructure, physical infrastructure, digital infrastructure. We all have to collectively, combinedly work together and then see and visualize next 20, 25 years of Nalsar journey. And thank you once again. The greetings on the 76th Republic Day. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, sir, for your powerful words and insights into the Constitution. Next, we have a wonderful treat for you. I invite Medha, Shreya, and Swayam from the IPM program to present a vibrant dance performance. Let's give them a huge round of applause.
मेले नू चलीए हो रौनक हो जू घट वे चल मेले नू चलीए मल्ला कड कुड़ते दे बट वे चल मेले नू चलीए आले फड़ कुंजियां ते सांभले तिजोरियां आले फड़ कुंजियां ते सांभले तिजोरियां खसमां नू खांदा ई तेरा घर वे चल मेले नू चलीए हो रौनक हो जू घट वे चल मेले नू चलीए हाय चल मेले नू चलीए
रंग रेजा रंग मेरा तन मेरा मन ले ले रंगाई चाहे तन चाहे मन रंग रेजा रंग मेरा तन मेरा मन ले ले रंगाई चाहे तन चाहे मन
सजरा सवेरा मेरे तन बरसे कजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती ला सजरा सवेरा मेरे तन बरसे कजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती ला अतरा मिला जो तेरे दर पर से ओ मौला मौला कुन फयाकुन कुन फयाकुन कुन फयाकुन कुन फयाकुन कुन फयाकुन
Wow, what a brilliant performance. Medha, Shreya, Swayam, your energy and passion truly was mesmerizing. Thank you for that spectacular performance. Up next, we have a soulful singing performance by Kabir from the 4th year and Sharad from the 1st year. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause.
मेरा मुल्क मेरा देश मेरा मुल्क मेरा देश मेरा है वतन शांति का उन्नति का प्यार का चमन इसके वास्ते निसार है ऐ वतन ऐ वतन ऐ वतन जाने मन जाने मन जाने मन आ आ मेरा मुल्क मेरा देश मेरा है वतन शांति का उन्नति का प्यार का चमन इसके वास्ते निसार है मेरा तन मेरा मन ऐ वतन ऐ वतन ऐ वतन जाने मन जाने मन जाने मन Thank you. ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा तुझे है पुकारा ये जो बंधन है वो कभी टूट नहीं सकता ये जो देश है मेरा स्वदेश है तेरा तुझे है पुकारा, ये जो बंधन है जो कभी टूट नहीं सकता।
तेरी शान पे कोई धन है क्या तेरी धूल से बढ़ के, धूप से रोशन तेरी हवा पे जिंदा। तू बाग है मेरा, मैं तेरा परिंदा। है अर्ज़ ये दीवाने की जहाँ भोर सुहानी देखी, रोज वही मेरी शाम हो। याद करे जो जमाना माटी पे मर मिट जाना। ओ देश मेरे तेरी शान पे सदके, कोई धन है क्या तेरी धूल से बढ़ के, तेरी धूप से रोशन तेरी हवा पे जिंदा। तू बाग है मेरा, मैं तेरा परिंदा। मेरा रंग दे मेरा रंग दे, मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला रंग दे, रंग दे रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला रंग दे, रंग दे रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। मेरा रंग दे मेरा रंग दे।
Thank you.
That was an absolutely brilliant performance. Thank you for such a delightful performance out there, guys. So, as we come to close our 76th Republic Day celebrations, I like to share a recent moment from our company law class that particularly feels relevant today. So, Charandet sir, while searching for an analogy, asked the class, "What is the Constitution?" Now, as someone who proudly wears the badge of being obsessed with the Constitution, trust me, that is how Cultcom convinced me to host this event yesterday. And who, when asked in the recent interactive play on campus to write down what gives them hope, end up writing the Constitution instead of their parents' names like most others. In that moment in class, I couldn't resist the opportunity to pull Sir's leg a little, just a little. I replied, "The Indian Constitution is a national charter pregnant with social revolution, not a legal parchment barren of militant values. Its purpose is to usher in a democratic secular society which belongs equally to the masses, hungering for a humane deal after feudal colonial history's long night." These words, of course, are not mine, though I dearly wish they were. They are the eloquent words of Justice Krishna Iyer from Akhil Bharatiya Sangh Soshit Karamchari versus Union of India. While my answer may not have been what Chancellor expected, regardless of the good laughs it brought to the class, but today, on this 76th Republic Day, this quote serves as a powerful reminder to all of us, whether future lawyers or not, whether legally inclined or not, that the Constitution is so much more than just a legal document. It embodies, in Krishna Iyer's words, militant values that guide our nation towards justice, equality, and a humane society. Let us ensure that we do not forget these values, that this day is not merely remembered as the date when a legal parchment came into force, but as a celebration of the enduring ideals that it represents, a living document that demands a commitment and action. Thank you everyone for being a part of these celebrations and for contributing to the energy, enthusiasm and spirit of the day. Wishing you all a wonderful day. Jai Hind.